Thank you all for meeting with me. You're all doing some wonderful work destroying the world, but I think it's probably time for us to reevaluate.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption, but I think we're in the wrong meeting. We're not here to destroy the world. We're here to save it. You see, we are some of the leading leaders of liberal causes, and I'm with the Human Rights Campaign, who focus on LGBTQ+ and trans rights. You see, I have the equal sign to let you know that I'm a good person.
Oh, excuse me, women's reproductive rights.
Climate.
Free Palestine. Open borders.
I misspoke before. You guys are not destroying the world, okay? You are saving the world.
Hey, whoa, what's up with those scare quotes?
Pretty sure I didn't use scare quotes when I said saving the world. The important thing to keep in mind is that there's a big election coming up, and you and I, we're all on the same page, okay? So if we want Biden to win, he needs to win in order for us to save the world. If we want Biden to win, you folks, how can I say this? You might need to tone it down just.
Tone down what?
Oh, that's a good question. You're women's reproductive rights, right? Okay. Excellent branding, by the way. It's much easier on the ears than baby murder, so kudos to you on that one. But opposing any restrictions all the way through to the 9th month, I mean, you see how you're kind of tipping your hand, right? Makes people think, wait, maybe they actually want to kill babies. And we do, obviously.
No, we don't.
Oh.
No, we don't. We don't.
Right. We don't. But you see how it can kind of look that way. So that's all I'm saying. You know, let's tone it down. And you, immigration, clearly we don't want a completely open border that undermines any sense of national sovereignty, driving down wages for the working class and overtaxing the welfare state. So let's go a bit easy there too. I mean, why not something like this? Why not something like, diversity is our...
Are you trying to say diversity is our strength?
Yes! How do you say that without laughing? Oh my gosh. I can't even get through it. This is head de moi. My sides. My goodness. Okay, what about you? Pro-Palestine. You are, I'm going to say this. You're kind of coming across like you just want to wipe Israel off the map and kill all the Jews.
We do want to wipe Israel off the map and kill all the Jews.
Of course, yes. And that's awesome. I'm all for that. I love that. But you need to pretend like you don't want to wipe Israel off the map and kill all the Jews.
Why?
Excuse me?
I mean, we're pretty clear in our position, and most young people and everyone on college campuses, and half the Democratic Party, of course, still support us.
Yeah, it's cool now.
You may have a point there. You might be the only person in here that can be as evil as you want to be and get away with it. All right, still, let's think about tactics. Okay, do you think that occupying bridges and blocking traffic is somehow winning people over to your cause?
Yeah, and making people hate us by blocking traffic is our thing. He's stealing our thing!
You're not stealing your thing. You must die. We will kill you all!
See, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, okay, I love the homicidal thing that you got going on there. I really dig it, okay? But maybe market it just a little bit differently. Like the serial killer that everyone thinks is such a sweet guy, you know? He's got 27 bodies in the basement, but he's like, coaching Little League. That's what I want. Be that guy.
Death to America.
You know, the funny thing is, you don't even look Middle Eastern. Am I wrong, people? Am I wrong?
I'm not. I actually grew up on Long Island, but my parents sent me to college. Death to America.
HRC guy, you have been going over the top as well.
Well, it's important for us, they, them, to be accepted just like everyone else.
Yes, of course. And convincing people that they're intolerant for not wanting men to get naked in women's locker rooms. I guess that's genius. I mean, come on, it's next level stuff. All right, but insisting that your children be mutilated. I mean, come on, let's turn people off, you guys. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but until the election, can we just all pretend for a few months not to be crazed, lunatic, homicidal extremists?
Extremist? No, it's my body, Donald J. Trump.
You will obey me. Sorry. Glad we're all on the same page, though. So, how do you do it? You know? When I do evil stuff, it seems like nobody likes me. When you do it, everyone finds you sympathetic.
Well, see, my people are oppressed victims. So we can rape, murder, and call for genocide, and it's pretty much totally justified.
Well done, Ahmed.
It's amazing how relevant that is for what we're going to be talking about today. Because when you think about that, just incredible piece by the Babylon Bee, right? All of that is impression marketing. When you think about it, impression marketing, where the system has convinced good people and bad people that this is the way you do it. This is what should be said. This should be done. And this is how you become a good person. Right? By the way, thank you guys for reposting the stream. We're going to do a little bit of an education today. I think it's important because everybody's talking about the Super Bowl. I'm going to explain to you what happened and how it was done. And when I say what happened, I'm not talking about, the results of the game. I'm going to explain to you why this has become a phenomenon of crapping in your cranium that it is. And it's really interesting to look at the reasoning of why it all works. By the way, today's program brought to you by the fine folks at Goldco. Here's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to go to jovanlovesgold.com. Request your free gold and silver kit today because now's the time to protect your money with gold and silver. And by the way, if you haven't been watching what's going on, all this political stuff and watching gold and silver kind of go through the roof, that's a good indicator. Even the big boys are covering their booties. Cover your booty. Go to jovanlovesgold.com. At least feed your brain, William. At least feed your brain. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Share this program. I am going to educate you on what's called the scarcity of eyeballs and how things called influence environment, they manifest cultural and political flashpoints. And that's what you just saw. That's what you've seen going on. And that's what we're going to discuss. Share this program right now. We'll get started right after this.
Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County Full Forensic Audit Archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't.
Warning. The following program has been rated Dilligaff and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you? Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians? The elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media, and the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd. Cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer, he's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Okay, folks, this is going to be a training session, and many people don't possess the ability to look at what's going on around us and kind of decode it. The topic today is what's called scarcity of eyeballs. It's a thing, and how influence environments manifest cultural and political flashpoints. I know that's a mouthful. But I'm going to dissect for you what you're seeing going on in sporting events, primarily like the Super Bowl, which just happened, and how 127 million people just in the U.S., 50%, it's 1 out of every 2 people, tuned in and were subjected to this. I need you to understand the magnitude and the techniques that are used in this and how it works. Now, you understand a lot when it comes to moving people, when it comes to getting people to make judgment calls that are against their health or against their livelihoods or against their way of life. The tactic primarily used is shame and blame. Now, I'm going to show you a shame and blame piece first. Happened in real time. Somebody recorded it. A leftist, an extreme leftist, recorded it as a badge of look how great I am. But what it caught was the psychology used by the left of shame and blame. In other words, when you can't stand on principles, when you can't stand on facts that people will embrace themselves, that you actually use shame and blame. Now, this is different than what we're going to talk about, scarcity of eyeballs, whole different process. But in order to lift one out so you don't mix the two, let me play this one first. Here is how the game of shame and blame works. This is what they do to your students, your children, etc. Check this out.
Let's go. Give us answers. Let's go. Say them out loud for the camera for all my viewers. Let's hear it. Why are you being silent?
I want to do a little bit of setup here. It may help. This is a yoga shop and studio that has yoga classes. It's part of a corporation. So it's got multiple locations across the United States. Okay. These are executives from the company, and these are some of their yoga instructors gathered for a meeting.
Let's go. Give us answers. Let's go. Say them out loud for the camera for all my viewers. Let's hear it. Why are you being silent? Let's hear it, Delaney, loud and proud, baby. You want to say it? Let's fucking say it. Why?
No.
Okay, let's go. It's an and a well. You should have well-rehearsed corporate action and words ready to go. Our community. I sent out $10,000 for people for rent yesterday that people gave on to my Venmo that I'm going to pay taxes on. Delaney, let's hear a goddamn answer.
The silence is deafening. So I think they're just taking a pause.
No, don't take a pause. Come on, you came here to silence teachers to make sure everything was good. I've never seen your fucking face in 10 years of practicing and paying my money at the studio. Don't take a pause. Be loud with core power corporate's answers. Let's fucking go. What do you got to say?
Okay, I was just sharing that.
Louder, Delaney, for us in the back. Let's go. What is it? Why? Why are you having one of our best teachers quit? Because you can't stand behind her. Answer that.
Okay.
Person with the glasses, do you have a good answer? Delaney can't seem to cough it out.
So, I mean, we're being berated right now, and so we're...
You're not being berated. You're being asked hard questions that you should have been answered. This is not berating.
Okay.
Trust me. Berating is what our neighbors are living through.
Yeah, I stand corrected. You are absolutely correct.
That's right. I know I am.
I apologize.
Okay. Why is your company...
The operations of the studio today, and to hear you and to listen
personally care about all of you and what you have to say. So if you want to go sit down and chat, I'd love to hear what you have to say. You gonna put the ice up sign back on the front door? We don't want to chat. We want action. We chat all fucking day long in this state. Are you gonna put the ice out sign on the back on the front door?
Is that the ask? Yes.
Yeah, and we want you to take us to.
The biggest ask here, please let me know if you guys feel differently. The biggest ask here is that Core Power is a major corporation. They're all over this country. The fact that they're staying silent about what is happening in Minneapolis, not only staying silent, but trying to silence us and speaking out. And by
That's
us,
right.
I mean the people who are working for Power, your guys' teachers, your guys' people who are presenting you. The fact that is being silenced, the fact that you guys are staying silent, that is complicit. That is not okay. People are being murdered and abducted and attacked here, and it is heinous. I am a nurse. It kills me to see people getting fucking hurt in our community. This is our community, and it's bullshit. Like, that's what it is. It's silence. It's not putting a fucking sign on the door. It's the fact that you guys don't seem to give a fuck, and we're giving you fucking thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, and we can take our fucking community elsewhere. And I can talk about other people around the country to take it fucking elsewhere. So if it's gonna hit it in the wallet, is that the only way that you guys are gonna fucking see it? Then so fucking be it. We can fucking get a yoga studio someplace else. Next to the media. You guys teach Saturdays at noon. Woo-hoo. Such bullshit. Like, I can give a shit if you personally care about what is happening here. The fact is, you guys are here to resemble and to be the face of corporate for us, to give a listening ear. This is the ear.
The ear is that everybody's mad. The ear is this community needs help. The ear is that just saying, okay, we'll put the sign on the door. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for more help. We're looking for the corporations that we give our dollars to stand up for what we believe in.
Thank you. We do really care, and we do appreciate all of you. And we want to be here to support you as a community. I will personally take this back and see, what are we going to do? What can we do? And we'll circle back. Wow, a circle back. So amazing.
There's been multiple meetings with corporate. This isn't the first time corporate's been here. There's been tons of meetings and chats. They know exactly the teachers' demands. They just won't do it, and instead they send people who have no idea. I'm not shake y'all. They don't have any idea what's going on. These poor people, the corporates are just sending here to walk into this mess. They're just shirking responsibility. I know I won't be continuing here. I'm going to Onyx and Amelia. That's a model of a gym that's done the right thing from day one. It's women-owned, it's queer-friendly, it's really welcoming. And it's clean. So take that as you will.
And also, I would just say, we got to be real about the fact that 2 white women are here to defend the corporation. I mean, I understand that here, but you also took the assignment. You took the assignment to stand here and defend this corporation. You got up this morning, drove in your car from wherever the fuck you live because you decided to stand with Core Power. So I'm not going to take it easy on you. Yeah, but so Delaney with berated, right? You go home tonight and you look at.
Okay. So that is the tactic. You see it all the time. It's the tactic that is basically to shame and bully to get people to agree with your agenda. Never let a person get a word in edgewise. And most of these people don't even understand how a corporation works, and they're berating somebody who they're thinking could make a decision for the corporation that can't. And then, of course, it comes down to it's 2 white ladies. Okay. That is a tactic that the left has deployed very successfully. Can we agree? They have deployed that tactic very successfully. Now, number one, if that was my shop, I would have taken that, LMB, right? Loudmouth bitch. I would have taken that loudmouth bitch and I said, come over here. You know what? I want to give you the platform you need. Here you go. You've got everybody. You tell each one of them what you want them to do. Give them the platform. Let them talk. Right? Because all it is social signaling. The first thing she came out with, I did $10,000. That's what it is. But that's how the left does it in the shame and blame game. Now, we're going to go a different direction. Right? The different direction I'm going to go is how the system does it, which is something completely different. The system sets up something that feeds that particular type of loudmouth bitch you just saw, that enables that. But you got to understand how the system does it, and the system sets it up. And so that's why we're going to talk about the phenomenon called the scarcity of eyeballs and how influence environment manifests cultural and political flashpoints. Now, I did not myself watch the Super Bowl. Didn't tune in, didn't check scores, didn't do anything. Simply because I'm not willing to have my eyeball go on the counter. Because if we can't take personal action for ourselves, all we're doing is bitching and complaining. And I don't think bitching and complaining necessarily works. We want permanent change. I want you to understand, and I've done quite a few shows on influence, psychology, psychological warfare. I want you to understand, ready? The deadly combination of a Super Bowl. Okay? And I'm telling you, it is a incredibly dangerous combination. It's lethal. Okay? In these scenarios, and you got to understand where Roger Goodell comes from. Most people don't understand that Roger Goodell, who runs the NFL, not only is an extreme liberal, he was raised by extreme liberals, and his father was an extreme liberal senator. That's part of why he's in that place. Roger Goodell comes from politics. His home, being that of a senator's son in D.C., comes from politics. So what you're seeing is an advanced weapons systems used here, okay? Now, when it comes to the Super Bowl, you got this interesting convergence of propaganda, high-end advertising, and political messaging. That's what they're bringing together. What they're going for is they need to have human attention, but they need a few other things to make this become as weaponized as they can make it. And it's directly tied to a few things, and that's emotions and the tribe effect, the group identity effect. Football, basketball, baseball, it's one of the most simplest elements we have of what's called tribalism. It's your team, your tribe, whoever you're choosing. They naturally have you in a tribal environment, and they naturally have you in the deadly combination of what's called super high stimulation and low to zero reflection. Super high stimulation, this is key, remember it as I go forward, right? Super high stimulation, low to zero reflection. This is why the system uses, because this is not organic, this is identical to the rioters getting into the streets of something that just instantly happened. And all of them, right? All of them have matching signs and banners. These are one of the things you should carefully look at and understand, that everything around us is a bullshit game by the media to manipulate us. And I'm talking everything. We live in this weird simulation designed to push us around like chess pieces. Where this becomes dangerous is because these mass events possess the ability to shift state, country, and global attitudes. That's the way we're going to look at it today because of what it is. Now, here's what you have. In this environment of super stimulation, right? It's all about entertainment. It's all about high arousal. It's all about, ooh, excitement. And by the way, you've already pre-chosen to belong. I want you to think about that for a minute. In watching a movie or a commercial, you're just technically a passive viewer, right? You tuned into a movie. When you tune in to a sporting event, you're basically now, you're still passive, but you're an active participant. Why? Because you came there already deciding you're part of this thing. I want you to think about that. When you watch a movie, you're not deciding, oh, I'm part of this movie. It's not how it works. When you watch a sporting event, it's not passive, and you have chosen to be there all the way down to the team. That's what I mean. Of course, when you're watching a movie, you choose to watch the movie. You have so much more vested interest in it because you are coming with a sense of belonging. So even though it's still passive, because it's teams, you support your teams, you choose your team, you're coming with a sense of belonging. This is already part of your place, your home territory. Now, how is Super Bowl marketed to you? Is it marketed as the most incredible sporting event the world has ever had? No. Super Bowls, and when I say this, you'll get it. Super Bowls are specifically engineered to max out what's called your cognitive load. Why? It's a party. The Super Bowl is marketed to you, your family, and your friends. Everybody get together for a party. Let's drink and eat and have fun. In that particular environment, which is different than other sporting events, right? Of course, you might watch baseball and have some hot dogs or grill outside, but the Super Bowl specifically is designed when it comes to that viewer, and you combine it with the high arousal factor. That's the excitement and your belonging. That's high arousal. You're excited and you're invested. You're excited and you're invested. Now what they do is they have the perfect storm of what's called the cognitive load. There's so much happening, right? There's all this, there's all the socializing that goes on, there's all the stats, the figures, the foods, the advertisings, the party. Now that party atmosphere psychosomatically does something to your brain. And what that does is it basically, in a very, probably the word's not volatile, but it's what I want to use. In a very volatile way, it bottoms out your motivation to scrutinize. That skeptic in you, that looking hard at things or maybe paying attention to a little more in this particular environment is bottomed out. Because why? I'm here to enjoy. Now, because they do this cognitive overload intentionally, sell it to you in a party atmosphere intentionally, okay? And because it's I'm here to enjoy and you're invested in this high arousal, but I belong event, what happens is you have less motivation to scrutinize. Now, all of this in psychology and in psychological warfare are basically psychological hacks or shortcuts into your system, okay? All it does is it actually gives shortcuts. They're all mental shortcuts. Every single one of them are mental shortcuts, okay? Now, in mental shortcuts, what that means is they're using, think of it, have you ever seen a maybe a true first aid operating kit that has the hook needle in it, right? It's curved, half circular. You ever seen one of those? You also use them in leather making and stuff too, right? Think of it as that needle. Now, the hook that is tying all of this together is the music, the humor, the cinematics, and the celebrities. All the great things for a party. Who wouldn't want a party with all of these things? Somebody said that's a curtain needle. That round needle that does this. Whoop, 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 whoop. They use music, they use humor, they use cinematics, and they use celebrities. Okay? Now, this is the perfect storm for the system to take over your brain. And they only have to do one thing. See, you've already chosen who the good guys and the bad guys are, because you've already come with a sense of belonging that you want somebody to win and somebody to lose. Shortcut for winners, losers, good guys, bad guys. Hate that team, love this team. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so what it's done is, in this environment, it has now focused you down to something that's called simple moral framing. You've chosen to be there. And you're in a frame of mind already, winners, losers, good guys, bad guys. One of the deep emotional things of why they're using the Super Bowl so much, going back to that copper prick on his knees, right? Way back when, is because they're tapping your predisposed triggers of pride, nostalgia, competition, fear, etc. Football is one of those things that for most people goes way back into their histories, usually into childhood memories. So this is the singular, most perfect storm for the nefarious actions that they do. And this is why they pour so much money into it. And this is why they don't give a shit what you think, why they'll put a Bad Bunny up there. Okay? Now, because you're in this environment, let's think of this environment. You're at home or you're at a friend's or family's house. It's all your buddies. It's all the kids, all the food. What else? Everybody's hanging around. It's your familiar safety environment. It naturally opens that door to you, the heart of what you're about. You're not going to Super Bowl parties with people you hate. You're not inviting over people you hate. So in this really simple moral framing, that's all it is, simple moral framing. It's very binary. I'm going to give it to you. What happens here is it opens you up in a way that everything feels very easy to understand. You've typically you've put aside all of the things that make you skeptical. They're all broken away. They're not there. Consider it letting your guard down. Okay? And in that simple moral framing, which is why you're there, the good guys versus the bad guys, my team versus this team. I love this team. I hate this team. I love this player. I hate this player. It's simple moral framing. And they've got this little added bonus called emotional triggers. And boy, in the game, there's a lot of emotional triggers. Missed pass, missed block, missed tackle, right? Cheap shot. You got all these emotional triggers that have you processing on this very simple level. Now, when you combine all of those things, something in the psychosomatic process with you lowers. And your brain looks at this big ass event, all the money being spent, you can recognize it, tons of money been spent on it. You naturally assume this must be big, this must be important, therefore it must be legitimate, and everybody's doing it, it must be normal. That's where your mind confuses all of this theater with credibility. Now, in all of this, all of the messaging that is going to you, every bit of it, it doesn't matter what Super Bowl message it was, and it doesn't matter what team you're on. What they're trying to connect to you is that you're part of us. They're trying to make it sticky. Here it is. And they basically present everything back in a form that most people don't even know this happened, that if you don't accept this, you're rejecting the tribe. You see all these people doing it? You see all these people accepting it? So you're there to be part of. You've already made a choice that there is a winning, losing side. You're there to be part of it. When they play you back, these thousands of characters doing this play, this live action, whatever you want to call it, music or otherwise, what happens is you go into that, and if you do basically begin to reject some of it, it creates, and you might not even be aware of this, it creates for a lot of people what's called the rejection of the tribe. Something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. Now, as this comes at you, and it's coming at you fast, it's called priming and framing. Priming and framing. This is where it gets nasty. This is without telling you, with them even without telling you what to think, the media frames it for you and makes it happen. They're priming your mind as to what comes to mind first. What comes to mind first? They want to replace these throwing bricks and streets lit on fire with this is a huge celebration, this is America. That's the priming. That's the priming. Then they want to frame it that they're the ones that are right. And if you don't believe the way they do in their framing, you're wrong. You lose the tribe. That's how it all works. Then there's this cottage industry that comes from it. This is the whole mechanism. And it's called post-event echo amplifications. You're going to see it all over, these post-event echo amplifications. It's going to keep hitting, and it's going to keep hitting, and it's going to keep hitting, and it's going to keep hitting. And now what it's done is it has overload and will for days most people's cognitive loads. Now, all of this begins with, and why this is so important, is you got to understand the whole game plays to reach eyeballs. If you can reach the eyeballs, you got to reach the eyeballs. You can get into their minds. This is the portal to the bullshit. Listening doesn't even do the same. The eyeballs are the portal to the complete nonsense. That's why social media is so sticky, like that lunatic whack job social signaling in that yoga studio. They know they get other eyeballs, period. And so the system realizes in these events, Super Bowls, they have basically synchronized attention. I told you, 127 million people tuned in. You know, and I see some of you saying, oh, fuck the bunny, right? For Bad Bunny. That's the point. The system doesn't give a shit about Bad Bunny. He's a used meat puppet. They're going to pay the money, get him there, be as totally whacked as you want. Why? Because it makes people look. Now, this is truly the only time in history that we deal with every year to this scale where everybody's basically watching at the same time. You realize a long time ago, you could have half of America watching Little House on the Prairie or Happy Days. All of those eras where people were glued to destination TV are gone. We now lived in this fractured, fighting for attention world. That is why you have seen this particular event, MASH, other things, you know what I'm talking about, attack these things so hard because tens of millions at any second are tuned in on the same thing. And that's where all of this, basically what they're doing is they're hijacking what's called the cultural sticky, right? Now, what's interesting is it has what's called the pre-importance imprimatur. Imprimatur means your label, your brand, your approval, the pre-importance. You do understand that most people for the Super Bowl shit have been waiting for it for months. Can't wait for Super Bowl week. Can't wait for Super Bowl days, like fucking Christmas, right? And so not only are you coming already prepared, us against them, good guy, bad guys, winners, losers, my tribe, and you've chosen to be there. You're not passive. You are freaking engaged. It comes with this massive level of importance. Now, because they have trained you, like Pavlov's dogs, to come to this massive level of importance, but then just think, I'm going to sit back and enjoy myself. See, that part of your brain that this is important, I'm here. See, that's where you have to get. You have to realize Super Bowl doesn't mean shit. It is not important in the world at all. At all. Won't fix anything, but it sure can destroy a lot. But because you have this pre-bought in, pre-importance to you, this is a core fact. This is what affects core media. This is what it is. This is one of the most opportune times, where the system gets to tell you what to think. And it's the least repetitive impact there is. See, everything else in our world hopes you pass by, hopes you see a commercial, hopes they get you for a few seconds, 15-second video, 30-second video. Maybe it takes you 20, 30, 40 times to get the message. This is the one time where you're there, you're invested, you're in, and they get to tell you what to think. It is so deep and so sinister, sinister does apply, by the way, so sinister that the system has realized how to use this and know so much more about it that they can use it to set, this will ring true, to set a nation's entire agenda. The fact that it is a sporting event, that's over. Yeah, you know, you could get out in school and play ball or high school, whatever, and you settle your differences and have it out. That part of the United States of America, it's over. It's gone. It's dead. It does not exist anymore. At all. So this is the one time where every part of your body buys in. And that will never change. That will never, ever change until we, the people, basically understand it's not what it used to be. It means nothing. And all they're doing is crapping in our craniums, emotional priming, whatever. Why do you think they have a halftime show? Why do you think they have so much pent-up demand lead up what's going to happen in betting? The halftime show is the built-in pep rally. The halftime show is where excitement and pissed off them merge. It only merges in three places. The start of the game, before first kickoff. Halftime, when you got 2 quarters of what the hell's going on. And then the last 2 minutes of the game. Those are the most important times, right? So the entire time that you're doing this, and think of how long you sit down for Super Bowl. People bitch if I don't put out a 60-second piece on what I talked about. Right? They bitch if I don't put out a 60-second piece on what I talked about. By the way, folks, just so you understand, okay? Here's what I'm doing. I'm giving back to you how all of this works. I want you to understand the mechanism, okay? I want you to understand the mechanism, okay? Period. What this is called is the scarcity of eyeballs. What we're discussing is the Super Bowl. That's the influence environment, okay? I want you to understand how these manifest cultural and political flashpoints. This is no longer a sporting event. The team here, unfortunately, is us versus them. And when I mean us versus them, the jackals out there trying to steal this, okay? It's whether we stay America or we don't. It's whether we stay America or we don't. It is a gladiator event all the way down to the core. You might not physically be playing in the game, but I want you to understand you're fighting in this game. And everybody thinks it's passive. It stopped being something passive years ago. That's why I use jackals in this. It stopped being something passive years ago. Now, think of it as one big slot machine that's gonna win. You can just feel it, okay? This is the only place. Think about anything. This is the only place where it mixes pride, excitement, and belonging into one event. Now, what you get is called the multiplier effect. That's going to happen now, and that's what's going to be going on right now. And that is, it's psychosomatic, but I want you to understand one thing. Remember I told you how many people tuned in? It may end up being a little less, may end up being a little more, who knows? 127 million people tuned in. I want you to understand the magnitude of the synchronicity behind that. It's called everybody saw it. And basically what that equates to is social proof. It must be real. I saw it. It must be the way to think. Everybody's doing it. It must be important. And it gives you the way to think because everybody's talking about it. And that number of 127 million is US. That is not worldwide. That is not worldwide. Now, social proof is a very dangerous element used this way. I'll give you an example. You're seeing a lot of people talk about Minneapolis as the flashpoint. Correct. I told you the moment I saw Don Lemon was going to be there and report, I knew all of this was an orchestration. You remember me telling you that? Where the hell did he end up? And what is it is? And you got his arrest. It's all orchestration, folks, designed to create certain things. They know what the fuck they're doing. But here's what I need you to get. Because they tied this, we'll just call it for now, the Minneapolis effect, with 2 people killed into this event. What happened here, what they did with Bad Bunny is basically called the social proof effect. This is where it becomes dangerous. By having Bad Bunny there, by having that no ICE or get rid of ICE or all that stuff, and creating the multiplier effect, you have to understand it gives tens of millions of people. It says it's safe to talk about this and you must stand for it. So you don't get that with a Minneapolis effect. You can get flashpoints in cities. They need the George Floyd events. They need the flashpoints. Where they're taking this is to the next level, and that's called the social proof level, which they got 127.7 million people to see. That it basically is saying, this is how you should think, and you better talk about it. It's safe to repeat, it's safe to share, and it's safe to discuss. That's how this creates the multiplier effect. Now, all of this right now, what you're going to experience, that whole fucking Super Bowl, is now going to be parsed down into framing and storytelling. This is where you see how they drive it past the Super Bowl. So Super Bowl sets it all up. It's got all these prime triggers for you. It does its jobs, puts it into the brain, and boom. And now you're going to see the effect of all of this broken down into 30 to 60-second bites, beginning to frame this as, this is the moral thing to do. This is how America was founded. This is the patriotic thing to do. This is compassionate. These guys are dangerous. That's where it is. That's it. It'll beget articles, etc. And what you watched is an event you paid for. $20 billion was spent. 20 billion of your dollars, because it all comes from you. 20 billion of your dollars were spent to deliver this message. Now, what you're going to find is this is going to become quite possibly the most dangerous message ever delivered. And here's why. You're finding out they're paying the illegals ungodly amount of money to be here. You know it, I know it, they know it. They're caught. You know the system has been caught. You know these cities like Minneapolis has been caught grifting out billions of dollars. They're caught. You know it. Hands freaking down. You also know that the Democrats, and I've told you this and I mean it, and I want you to think about this. I'm telling you, the end here is very near for the Democrats. It's just true. Prior to Trump coming in, media used to tell you the Republican Party was dead. It was all a lie. I told you back then. I even told you, if you're watching me even before Trump came in, I told you it's the Democrat Party that's dead and dying. So let me explain to you what's at stake here. This is even a bigger war than what they did during Trump's first term. And this is even a bigger war than what occurred in 2020 with the bullshit election. We're now at the end throes. We're at the flashpoint, okay? They went to war against Trump when he was in. They made him as ineffective as possible. They got him out by doing the shit they did on the election, but America put him back in. It is now the war between you're either an American or you're not. You either support America or you don't. The Democrats know, you now know, all that money, all those appropriations have been stolen. You suspected it. Actually, we never paid attention to it. Then it got a little bigger. We paid a little attention to it, but we didn't dig. Then we did. We knew something was wrong. Now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, we know it's all a fucking con game. We know all of these rat bastards are stealing from us. You now know it. You don't even have to fucking debate it. Now, it's now gone to the point past Doge that it's in your face. This is a good thing about social media, right? And individual reporters getting out there exposing it. We fucking know it. We know it. And in that know it, for us on the good side, it's being merged with how many damn illegals they let across the border. Now, if we take the illegals out of the formula, the Democrat Party's over. This is a checkpoint for you to look at for automatic voter registration. I've put out more content on this, started blowing the whistle on this a long time ago before anybody did. I said, here's the mechanism by which they do it. You know it. I showed it to you. I shared it a long time ago. I taught you. I told you it's the voter rolls and motor voters how they do it. Now, this is a snapshot of motor voter. Period. And you see that Democrat states not only control it, but you see the states that were battled over so hard, where they had so many problems in 2020, so many questions. Georgia, Michigan, come on, folks, Pennsylvania. They're allowing it to have more control. The reason I'm showing you this is because this is the states without motor voter. This is when you have motor voter. I told you where it was. I've told you this for years. People said I was crazy. It wasn't it. This is motor voter. This is no motor voter. And so where we are right now is we are at that flashpoint, a very dangerous flashpoint. The flashpoint is whether, as Americans, we really want to talk about what matters or we want to be distracted. We really want to go to the heart of the matter or we want to be distracted. It is coming down faster than even I imagined, down to every one of us. We have to choose what we stand for. We have to choose to talk about the things that matter. We have to soberly get out of tribalism. I actually was pointing something out the other day about some of the Epstein lists and Bannon and others coming up, and somebody got mad. Well, they covered on this network and that network praise, and they're good people, and so I just think you're disrupting. I think the ones that spit the most scripture are the ones more than likely led by demons than God, because it's kind of the cloaking device. If you want to know the truth, it's a cheap tool for them. We're coming down to the wire in this battle. The forces, where the money goes, what they do with it, can't be hidden anymore. How they run up the voter rolls and play games with us cannot be hidden anymore. We're at that wire, folks. Now, what this means in all of this is you have to recognize this for what it is. For me, football was my life long ago. Y'all know my history. That was my family's preordained history for me. Going on to play pro ball was going to be my thing till I got hurt. The NFL's dead, folks. Just like the NBA and all that stuff. It's not sporting events anymore. It's political events. It's political rallies, and that's all it is. It's over. And we have to realize in all of this, maybe you won't realize why certain celebrities keep on getting movies is because they're the ones that will say what the system wants them to say, and that's how the system rewards them. Maybe you'll realize celebrities that you'll find out are conservative are the one the systems run out of town. Or the newscasters you find out are conservative who the system runs out. You've got to understand this. We're captured. Movies, television, sporting events, schools, town halls, sadly in churches, teachers' unions, workers' unions. Folks, we are captured. The last thing not captured, why this is still a battle, is you. But it's coming down to that choice of you're either for America or you're not. If it's all these little bullshit facts, like, well, I believe it's Venezuela and the machines, and I like the PCAPs, and they prayed. You got caught in the mess. We're closer than we've ever been to winning. We're closer than we're ever been to losing. Because it always comes down to a fine edge. And you have to decide. You have to decide where you are. I just wanted you to understand what happened with Super Bowl and how the game is really played. Share this program if you think it'll help. Love you. Bye.
Our courts are based on clear and convincing evidence. Want convictions? Want justice? For what happened in the 2020 election? Then we need your help. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The decision you make in the next few moments could decide whether we ever get our elections fixed or not. Here's why. Trump campaign and allies filed 64 different lawsuits. They all went down in flames. 100% of these cases were presented on "It's the machines," or "The machines changed the votes," or "The voting company executive said he would make sure Donald J. Trump would not win." They all went down in flames. Why? You can't bring theories to court as evidence. No supposed Zoom call or six-degree polynomial math theory or census data is or ever will be proof of fraud. You can't bring theories to court as evidence. Here's why. In both civil and criminal law, the side making a claim carries the burden of proof, and prosecutors must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Without physical or otherwise verifiable evidence, a case cannot meet this high threshold. Physical evidence is the key. The question is, did anyone get relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The full forensic audit of Maricopa County, Arizona is the only evidence-gathering work which gathered relevant, reliable, provable, testable, and duplicatable evidence of what really happened in the 2020 general election. Evidence so damning that the system, the deep state, and those who pulled the strings of this country have fought to keep it hidden and have hoped to have it be forgotten to time. Almost $3 million invested in time, funds, and efforts to unlock that which the system wanted hidden. But now, that evidence is in danger of being lost forever. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. With the 2026 midterms coming up, the system is going to try to lame duck President Trump and then most likely introduce new impeachment proceedings. This is the evidence which will help win the war which is surely to come. We need to keep Maricopa County full forensic investigation and archive secure and ongoing. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then we need your help. Please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We need your help securing the full forensic audit archives. Don't allow the only testable, objective, and reliable 2020 election evidence fall into obscurity. Millions were spent on getting it documented and tested. This is historic evidence. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. The historic Maricopa County full forensic audit effort processed 20,895,610 digital and forensic images of varying formats, resulted in 208 million individual evidence-proof files. The system processed over 58 billion forensic measurements, resulting in over 2 trillion individual base computations. No hopium, no hype, just hardcore forensic evidence. Please make sure the Maricopa County full forensic audit archives survive. Donate now. So if you want what happened in the 2020 election fixed, then please donate to protect and secure this historic evidence. We can't do it without you. We need you. America needs you. Our future needs you. Please donate now. Not fixing 2020 will damn our nation forever. Please donate now.